Hello, hello, hello. I am Nikole, and welcome back to the channel. Hello, hello, hello. I am Nikole, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today we've got an episode of Phase 1. This episode is all about nikole. She is a Canadian singer-songwriter that made her debut in 2019, but is definitely making her way into the mainstream. So, let's get into Phase 1 for nikole. There are a ton of ways that I personally find new music, and I always have to get creative. I think it was back in 2020 when I had a bit of a musical drought, and when I'm craving something new, I just scroll through whatever streaming platform I'm on at the moment and just look at album covers. Whichever one catches my eye, I click and listen. And this is exactly how I found nikole. I took a good listen to her EP Worthy, which came out in 2020, and I was like, this is interesting. Then fast forward 2 years ahead, I started seeing her face again all over the blog when her single Pretty Girl era took over TikTok. Now here's a little information on Lou. Lou's originally from the Congo, but she is a citizen of Canada where she launched her career. In 2019, she dropped her single Don't Count Me Out, which led her to winning an Emerging Artist Grant worth $10,000 and studio time. And I think we can say she put that grant to good use, and that might be how we got her EP Worthy. And as I mentioned earlier, she dropped her single Pretty Girl Era, which had everybody feeling themselves on TikTok. Lou kicked off this year with a bit of an unexpected collab featuring on Lotto's song Lottery. This landed nikole her first entry on the Billboard charts, with the song coming in at number 83. Now, some of my favorite personal tracks from Lou would be Body New and Love Like. Now, taking it back to my discovery of Lou, when I first saw the cover to her EP, I honestly was expecting a bit of mix of R&B and maybe like an Afrobeat situation. But what I got was an empowering girly pop record, which was a beautiful surprise. Now when it comes to her songwriting, she's absolutely creating bops, but she's also venting when it comes to relationships, her body image, insecurities, and just being a woman. Her sound and style has a bit of a mix of Jessie Reyez, a bit of Sia, sprinkles of Paramore, Lizzo, and probably a little bit of like throwback Charlie XCX. Now, what I personally love about nikole is she is unapologetically a pop artist. Now, I did see her going up on Twitter where people were trying to put her into other categories and other genres just because of her presentation and, I mean, we could just say it, her skin tone. But she is clearly a pop artist. The records that she makes are so pop heavy. And I love the fact that she's loud and proud about, not wanting to be pigeonholed and going after the rightful place that she deserves as the artist that she wants to be. I also really appreciate how she just lays it all on the line when it comes to her songwriting. I think she says a lot of things that a lot of us just would not say. It's like most of her lyrics are like that background inner voice, and that just happens to pop out in the song. Y'all know we have been having this conversation about Black artists and the pop genre and whatever the disconnect could be from the audience or even executives. And I appreciate how, loud and brash she is about staking her claim as a pop artist. I think a lot of people are really over the boxes that the industry has kind of forced everybody in. And I get it. It works for streaming. It works for playlisting. It works for radio. But for the way that the industry is now, where everybody can kind of create however they want, whenever they want, people are experimenting and breaking the lines of genre and breaking barriers. Like, nobody really wants to check a box anymore. So I'm glad that she's taking note of it early in her career and making it known where she wants to be, who she believes she is. And I honestly think the separation in a lot of the genre talks is pretty much where labels want to put their money. But that's a whole nother video itself. I also love how she's been taking advantage of building a social media community. whether it's on TikTok or Twitter. She is highly active, dropping covers and just communicating with people, having real conversations and letting people know that she's a real person and letting people know how she thinks about her career, about society, about, music in general. And I think that's very important for artists, especially as they're building, as they're on the rise, is to figure out how you want to communicate with your fans. Obviously, as you grow in your career and things change, that may change, but at least at the start of your career, you have to figure out how to find that foundation. I think that she hasn't put herself in a box in genre, or as in how she wants to communicate with her audience. She's consistently creating content for TikTok, as well as being open and speaking on Twitter. She hasn't really boxed herself into one platform, and I think that's going to work for her. All right, y'all know with phase one now, we also get into the artists and how they present visual. So I was hoping to be able to get into a visual for Pretty Girl Era, but we do not have a visual for that yet. So we're gonna take a look at Nikola's video for Love Shit. I love that she's branded this whole orange hair. Don't sweat too hard, 'cause my teeth ain't perfect. My body don't impress you, so go ahead, curve it. Now for Nicola, I feel like it's still super, super early in the process for her. But I think she has an opportunity to do something really special with her wanting to dominate the pop space. I don't think it's cheap to say that Lizzo has been a barrier breaker for, number one, women of color, number two, plus size women, number three, plus size women of color in the music industry in general. So it's definitely dope to see more people starting to push through and kind of infiltrate the pop space with all of the different versions of representation, and Nicola being a part of that. And her sound being a little more alternative, taking on more so of a Jessie Reyez, Charlie XCX, as I said before. It provides a different space for her, not to be even pigeonholed as just another Lizzo. She's already created a separation for herself in that way. And I really enjoy her as a songwriter. Just the way that she tells stories and the honesty in her stories. And she really just says everything that you could say about her before you say it. She puts it all in the music and tells relatable stories. I think it's going to be really dope to watch her grow as a writer and just telling stories as she changes and as her position in the industry, however she may face challenges or however she's able to break through, what those stories will look like. Now, one thing we have not seen much from Nicola is the stage performance. That is something that I feel like is important for every artist. Every artist is going to have a different presentation on stage. But in the pop space, stage performance is major for every artist in that genre. So it's going to be interesting to see how she develops, how she grows, and what her comfortability is on. I think the only main stage performance that we've seen from Nicola is the performance she did of Lottery with Lotto on the Board Women in Music Awards. And even that was kind of awkward. I think all the performances that night was awkward just because of the staging of it all. So I definitely want to see how she translates on stage. And really, I just hope that she has a really good team around her to, one, help her break through some of those barriers that may still be in the heads and the minds of industry executives. She is over at AWOL. They seem very open, and I think they're really good when it comes to sync placement, and that she has the perfect music for that, for commercials, for TV shows. So on that side, I think she'll be great. But however she sees herself as an artist, whatever level she sees herself on, I hope that she has a team that is fighting for her on her side all the way there. Yeah, I definitely feel like there should have been a video for Pretty Girl Era already. And I think like coming off of a major collab with Lotto, as hard as Lotto was going for Lottery, I think there should have been something else, even if it was just like picking up on covers or like getting a clearance to do a cover if it wasn't an original song. Um, just something else to kind of keep that momentum, to keep that name going. Because, I mean, she did great with creating the content and being on Twitter every day. But I feel like there should have been something else to come along a couple of weeks after that. Um, so I'm hoping they're getting all of that together, orchestrating that nicely for her. Because I definitely want to see her around. Like I said, I found her in 2020 off her album cover. I was like, it's cool. I like it. What's gonna happen? She popped back up 2 years later, doing TikTok, doing what it do, picking people up and putting them in your face. So I would like for her to stay around. So yeah, but I definitely think either way it goes, she can absolutely dominate as a writer. But I want to see her presence as an artist. Y'all, I'm Nikole, and that has been phase 1 for Lucala. Drop down in the comments, let me know if you guys are familiar with Lucala, if you guys tapped into her EP Worthy, what some of your favorite songs were, and what are you guys hoping to see from her in the future. You already know what to do here on YouTube. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you never miss a drop. And be sure to slide over to my Patreon where you will get the full version of this video and exclusive content like the More K vlog series and personal music review. That's it for this episode of phase 1, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.